Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. A little bit of a different video today. Not ready to ride today, it's literally pissing down, so I thought I'd sit down and make a video and show you guys how to sell a mountain bike online fast. So yeah, I thought I'd jump in and share my process for selling bikes, how you can basically sell a mountain bike online ethically, get the most money possible for your bike, and for it to be a really good sale for the buyer and the seller, being yourself. So I'll not waste any time, we'll just jump straight into it. So step number one, first thing before you jump online, take photos or anything like that, is to make sure the bike is actually running smooth. Let's not beat around the bush here. There's probably a lot of people that have been scammed online, bought things secondhand, like secondhand bikes say. It's turned up and then the bike is not what it was like made out to be in the listing.
What kind of shit is that?
Make sure everything is running smooth on the bike. That's bearings, make sure the bike actually is rideable, so all the gears work, the suspension works. Make sure everything as well works that the customer or the person wanting to buy a bike cannot actually see or feel from just the photos alone. So they can't see inside the suspension, but they expect from the listing and stuff that we'll write later, the bike is actually running smooth and everything is working. You can obviously sell components and break bikes down into just frame and forks. If you have like parts of bikes, they're gonna be a lot harder to sell, in my opinion, than a full bike. If you think about what people actually want, they want to buy a mountain bike online, they want a bike to turn up their door, they want to build it and they want to go ride it. They don't want to have to then buy more stuff for the bike so then they can ride it. They want a bike to show up at their door so they can ride it. So that's what our goal is with this first step, is just to make sure you actually have a working, like, solid bike. So step number two is to wash your bike. Like, the amount of times I've seen people put bikes for sale on the internet that aren't clean, like, does my absolute nut in. I'm not gonna do a detailed video on how to wash your bike. Use bike wash, use decent brush, nice soft brush, get down to all the details, get in there nitty gritty. And a pro tip, get yourself some degreaser and a chain cleaner and clean the drivetrain with more than just like bike cleaner. It'll make the bike stand out above any other second-hand bike that's you're competing against, say. So step number three, now it's time to take the photos of the bike. Now before you jump in now and think, oh, I don't have a really expensive camera to get those professional shots or anything like that, forget all that, just use the best camera that you have at your disposal. That could be the camera on your phone, it could be DSLR camera, a bit more of an advanced camera like this one we're filming on. Just shoot on the best camera that you have at your disposal. Don't get hung up on that. What's more important is that you shoot in a good location. So what is a good location? When I'm shooting a bike that I want to sell online, I'll try and do it in natural lighting. So we want to go outside in the sun. I try and pick an area or a location that has no noise in the background, like a plain black wall or a plain white wall, something that is really, really bland and makes the bike stand out and pop in pictures. If we go and take photos, say, in a forest, it makes the bike hard to stand out and hard for the person looking at your bike to see like what's going on, what does the bike look like, all the intrinsic details and stuff like that. So I always try and find like a solid color, like one sheet wall or whatever like that. So pick a good environment outside in the sun if you can. And then when we're actually taking the photos, you want to try and get as many photos as you can. I would think about shooting in as many different angles as you can. So both sides of the bike, cockpit view, front and back, get nice and close up with your camera, show any details as well that the customer or the buyer will want to see. If the frame has any defects in it, so like chips in the paintwork, frame numbers that are usually underneath on the bottom bracket, take some close-up photos of that, because trust me, these are all the things that people will ask you for later, and it's a nightmare having to go back and take more photos. You don't want to do that. You want to get everything done in one hit. So step number four, we're going to create our listing. We're going to create a real simple title and a real simple description. The title wants to be really informative when we're selling a mountain bike anyway. Just tell people what it is, if you can, what year it is, what size it is, and what model it is. Prime example, if I was selling one of our Vitus bikes, it'd be like 2020 Vitus Mythic, medium, 29er, great condition or something like that. Short and concise, gets people to click in and read the description. In the description, I'd probably just give like a full spec breakdown, so what the frame is, the forks, the rest of the components on the bike, the condition as well, again, if there's any defects or there's anything that the buyer may want to know or isn't clear from the photographs, get it in the description so people can like really see what's going on. Because buyers can't actually like feel and see the bike in person, our goal with the listing and the photos is to create like an experience that builds a really solid picture in the buyer's mind before they actually click buy. Another way you can do this, if you are selling on certain marketplaces, you can actually make a short walk around video, which is another thing I recommend doing. So get your phone out, put it in landscape or portrait, and show people around the bike rather than just photos, or as well as photos even. That again adds another element to how detailed your description is, how well you're showing your bike off, and it just makes the sale so much easier for a buyer who's looking for a bike to buy online. If the bike does come with a warranty, or you can pass warranties down and all that, like make sure you include all those details, because like I said before with the photos, customers will start asking questions, and I don't really like answering questions and going back and forward with people wanting to buy. So I want people to ask as little questions as possible if that's okay, and just walk away with the sale because they're confident in what they've seen and what they've read about the bike they want to buy. Make sure there's any details about warranties, anything like that you include in there, so the customer or the buyer knows exactly what they're getting and what's included and what's not included. So step number 5, we're going to decide on the price. The more experience and the more bikes you sell online, say, the better experience you have in knowing what mountain bikes are worth online in the market. So it's worth checking out different marketplaces and just seeing how much bikes are going for, and then you can kind of see where your bike in the current condition it's in actually sits, so you can price your bike fairly and you can actually get the most money for it as a buyer, and then give the seller like a really good deal as well. Also keep in mind as well when you're pricing things, the shipping on a bike. So whether you're going to ask your buyers that the bike needs to be collected from you, or whether you're going to ship it, will also determine a bit of your pricing as well. I would always add a little bit more for shipping. So if you're shipping within the UK, say, add a little bit more. If you want to ship inside the Europe, a little bit more again, or global, a little bit more again. So step number 6, we're going to look at where you're going to sell your mountain bike. There's 3 main sites that I always go to when I'm selling a mountain bike. First one is Facebook Marketplace, which is completely free, fantastic in terms of like really easy to list a product on there. You can probably take photos, if you've already got your photos actually. Creating a listing, uploading the listing is like a 5-minute job. Really, really straightforward. And there's an option as well on there that you can add your bike for sale in other groups and stuff like that. So it makes it really easy to put your offer in front of like so many people. And it's free as well, so there's no charges or anything like that, which is always great. The next option is a paid option. So eBay is another great option. I sell a lot of stuff through there, including bikes, components, whatever, mainly because eBay is just so well known. There's very little chance of you getting, quote, scammed on there, or people going on there and feeling like they're being like done over or anything like that, because eBay is such a well-known brand now. People trust eBay, so therefore they are happy using it. When you list your mountain bike on there or anything for sale on there, you kind of like piggybacking off eBay's credibility, which is a good thing. Obviously that comes at a cost, but it's well worth it in my eyes. If we talk about fees associated with selling on eBay, it's generally about a 10% fee from eBay. Let's say you sell a bike for £2,000. If it sells £2,000, eBay will straight away take £200 off that, so you'll be left with £1,800. If you put that into your price note, it shouldn't be a problem. There's obviously a lot of people going to eBay because of the credibility side of things. Kind of an easy sale, and it's really good to communicate through there as well. So step number 7 is dealing with like questions and potential buyers. So if you've done all the steps up to this point right now, you should have all the photos, you should have a really solid listing that tells people exactly what your bike is, like the condition it's in, any other smaller details that the customer might want to know. There are going to be back and forth conversations, especially when you're selling a mountain bike, because it can be a fairly high-end thing that someone's buying. So they might have questions like more specific questions, more personal questions on like how the bike rides, where it's been used, how many miles it's done. That's kind of a common question people are asking. How many miles the bike's done, which to me I don't really know. I can only give someone like I've owned this bike for like 6 months and it's been ridden like 3 times a week, or that kind of idea. If you can note down the mileage when you are making your listing, that can be quite helpful. That's just a common question I've been asked on some of the bikes I've sold in the past. But you generally shouldn't have too many back and forth questions, because you'll have put all those details inside your listing that we created earlier on. It might come a point where people are asking to like strike a deal or like try and barter you down. So again, that's just like a personal thing. You have to decide what you're happy with selling the bike for. I would never like undercut yourself just because you want the sale, because the amount of times I've been out online selling a bike and then taking a price because it's like, oh, someone wants to buy my bike. Literally straight after that bike is sold, somebody offers you like the asking price for it. I'd also be cautious on that side of things, like weigh up your options, weigh up your offers, and then just make the right decision at the best time. Hello?
Hello, Alex.
How's it?
Good, it's Colin Rennie phoning from Moorham Depot. Good, I believe we've got a meeting tomorrow morning.
Yeah, 9 AM is fine. Awesome, thank you so much, Colin. See you in the morning. actually selling the motorhome right now, and that was somebody coming to look at it tomorrow. So anyway, so step number 8 is sealing the deal. The main bit of advice I can say here is make it easy for someone to give you money. Don't make them jump through loads of hoops. Just make it really, really straightforward and simple, which is why I pretty much always use PayPal. It's fast, it's safe, it's secure, it's easy, it's simple. It's just use it if you can. It's really easy. So step number 9, if you are packing your bike up and sending it, the best way I would say packing a bike up is just going to a local bike shop or sourcing a bike box and then just like packaging your bike up in that. Like, I'm not going to make a video on and show you like how to pack a bike as such. Should be fairly self-explanatory. Like, pack it up, make sure it's secure, make sure everything is not going to get damaged inside the box, and send it on its way. And step number 10, talking of sending a bike, if you're shipping a bike or like a courier service or whatever, make sure you get tracking details that you can send to the buyer, because that is one of the questions they're going to ask. They're going to want to know where their bike is. Make sure you get like a fully covered, tracked courier service that can give you those tracking details that you can pass straight on to the buyer to keep them happy. So yeah, I hope that video was useful. Again, the weather is horrendous at the minute, so that's why I'm literally sat here making a video on showing you guys my process for how I would sell a mountain bike online. If you like this video, smash the thumbs up button. It helps us to show it to more people. Get yourself down to the right hand corner and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. If you have any comments on this video or questions on how to sell your mountain bike, pop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you, and we'll see you for the next video, which I'm hoping should be out on the trail, back out on the bikes for some riding. So take care and I'll catch you soon.